That's right, you're watching the CrayolaSec Harsh Reality. Special guest tonight, the Harsh Reality, according to the CrayolaSec page, because I haven't changed it since last year.
I guess I have to leave that on until July 23rd, 2023. So
yeah, at least our first year anniversary or something like that. Something
yeah,
to that effect.
And then for that, then we'll do a what do you call it? Then we'll do like an official the ceremony for that. So there you go.
95 and sunny degrees here in sunny. It's freaking 8:11. Why in the world does this forecast say this right now?
Not really something to complaining about an 8:31 sunset's really not something I'm going to do tonight. So,
no, I'm not complaining about it. It's just this is weird. But it's 95 degrees today, and it's apparently sunny.
Yeah.
And Baton Rouge is under excessive heat warning from 1:30 this afternoon to 8 p.m. So it's already wrong.
It's not good.
It's 8:12, so we shouldn't be under that anymore.
Yeah. All I can say is you can only complain about one type of weather. So that's the rule I like to abide by.
Oh, nice.
I'll take the heat over the cold any day just because I'm more convenient.
The high tomorrow is going to be 100 degrees. That's wonderful.
Yeah. Like I said, considering the fact that a few months ago we were dealing with like single-digit temperatures and negative temperatures, I'll take the heat.
I'm much rather the cold.
Nah, you say that now. No. You say that now, but when you actually have to function in the cold, it's different.
Oh no, I actually love the cold, dude. I could just sit in the snow all day and be happy as hell. I'm very
everyone loves the cold. Everyone loves the snow and the cold until you're driving and all of a sudden your car starts skidding for no reason.
Well, I've driven in Colorado in the middle of the winter, so yeah, I know how that can be.
You know, and you have to.
But it also, but the flip side of that is whenever I'm having to drive in traffic in that type of weather here, because everybody's idiots and they can't even drive if it's raining. So if you put snow and ice on the ground, they really get retarded.
Oh, I know in the South, there's certain cities in the South where if there's like a half an inch of snow, they'll shut down a few inches of snow. They'll shut down the highways.
It shuts everything down. Businesses close, the whole 9 yards.
See, that's why that'd be so scary to live in the South when it's winter, because it's like, what if you're on the highway and all of a sudden everyone leaves their cars? You're like,
well, we don't really even have a winter that you can actually speak of, really. I mean, we're normally wearing short sleeves and, shorts Christmas Eve.
No, you guys, no, that where you guys are at, no. But I'm talking about like places like Nashville and Atlanta and all them. I'm seeing like, or places, especially like the Atlanta area where you'll see people shut down because it's cold. You're like, oh my god,
they get an inch of snow on the ground. That's it. It's done.
I know that's the scary part, because if you're on the road and that happens, that's scary. If you're not on the road and that happens, you don't care.
I know poor Olivia, she melts down here. I feel so bad for her half the time. She's like, oh, it's just so hot.
No, I mean, she's used to
like that my entire life, but she's used to being up north, So.
Yeah, she's used to being up north where you only have like 2-3 months of decent weather, and the rest is all just, pick your poison weather-wise.
We're still kicking around the idea of moving to Western New York, so. But I got to wait until all this medical crap is finished here with me. So
yeah, Scott wearing like 3 layers of thermal wear just to handle 30-degree weather.
Oh God, no, man! I would love it. I would love it.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed. When it's the colder the weather, the more laundry you have to do. Like I've noticed that.
Who just tagged me somewhere?
I
don't know. Someone tagged me somewhere.
Oh, right.
There's people tagging me. They did not ask to be tagged. I don't even know where it came from. Oh, well.
I don't know either. The only thing I do know is, like I said, when it's cold, It's a nuisance to drive, that's for sure. Otherwise,
would you tell Wesley to calm down? We're gonna fix all of that crap. Calm down, Wesley, if you're watching. We got you, dude. Perfect response. I don't really know why StreamYard that y'all insist on really screwing up audio reproduction when it comes to music. I don't know if that's just a problem y'all have as a company or. But if we're going to be spending the amount of money we're spending every month for y'all, y'all can do better. Hi, John. John Tapau says hello from New Zealand.
Hello there. But it's a mess, especially with StreamYard, especially when you even like upgrade to the professional settings. You're like, really? You're still this messy? To come on.
Yeah, I mean, and it's you have to pay extra for it, and it's still not, I mean, come on, y'all can do better. Y'all are too expensive to be that crappy.
Exactly.
And the dumb thing about it is like, if you just, go ahead and pre-record, well, then what's the point? How do you interact with commenters and stuff like that if it's pre-recorded?
You really can't. The only thing you can do is like when when the live stream's posted, you just have to interact with them, and you have to literally just play the role of mod for your own live stream to interact with the comments, which to me is just silly.
Exactly.
It's just like having your live stream only on replay. That's it.
And we are familiar with how replays go. We can ask a certain someone. And I'm not queuing up that music because I don't want to fry one of my players tonight. Heaven knows if he gets stuck on that, my luck it would
Real
be stuck
Men of
on
Genius.
No, not that one. I'm talking about the other artist.
Oh God. Oh God. That's terrible. So please don't remind me of that.
Hang on a second. Let's see what's in here. It gave me a result for Joe Cocker's greatest hits.
Oh my God. If you want the record that bad, the CD that badly, I'll just send it to you. It's not a big deal.
No, that's fine. I'm good with that.
Are you sure? You keep looking them up for some reason. It's rather weird.
This song is titled Orphan Song, and that just to me right there, the title is perfect. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. StreamYard is limited as far as music reproduction.
Thank you, StreamYard. I don't want to listen to that.
Thank you, StreamYard. Let's read some comments.
John says hello from New Zealand, and he says it's winter here, but we don't have snow up here in the north, but we have it in the South Island. Well, that's
yeah, because their seasons are kind of like flipped from ours.
Right. Well, no, their seasons being flipped makes sense, but the fact that they don't have snow up the north, but they have it in the South Island, that's a little strange. It's usually the other way around.
Well, I mean, essentially, they're closer to the South Pole than they would be the North Pole or the equator.
That's also true too.
I mean, it's kind of like that in South America too. The further south you go, the colder it gets.
Yeah.
So.
And if you're really farther south than South America, you're a nice little boat ride away from Antarctica.
In which case, you could hang out with the penguins and probably find my ex-wife's underwear.
Now that's the reason why no one wants to go to Antarctica, Scott. Thanks a lot.
I mean, you would have to throw those panties in the freezer just to warm them up.
Jeez.
That's crazy. So we have a new website now. It's CrayolaSec.org.
Very nice and pristine website.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Put a lot of 10 minutes worth of work into it, so it looks great.
That's good.
You know, there's going to be some changes. I'm going to make the CSHR radio section of the page more interactive. You know, so I mean, I got some stuff to work on, and I got some ideas for it.
It's good.
I mean, I didn't even really take an opportunity to get with you kind of and see how you wanted to set it up and stuff. I just threw it together just so it would have something other than just, under construction or something like that.
Right. Yeah. Well, I figure CrayolaSec, that's more your baby, so you should just do it the way you want. But when it's like Harsh Reality, the Harsh Reality website or CSHR website, or CSHR radio, then that's probably when it would be more of a collaboration.
Well,
I mean, I figure we just use CrayolaSec to just torment the idiots.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do it that way, we can. That way, the CSHR radio tab, it would be ours essentially.
Right.
So, and that's until I can get the .com set up.
Yeah.
Which I have the domain already. I just got to set it up.
That's good. So where's Scott Jr.?
I don't know. I sent him the link, but he didn't join, so I have no idea what he's up to.
Yeah. Been very quiet lately.
Who, him?
Mm-hmm.
He's always quiet. He's even quiet here.
Yeah, but he's like quiet.
He's always been that way.
No, but he's like more quiet than normal is what I'm saying.
No, the only way he says anything 9 times out of 10 is whenever you mess with him.
Oh, yeah. It's true.
I mean, other than that, he really doesn't say anything. Yeah, somebody with some big speakers is intent on me hearing it. Close to the studio. Thank you very much for that, and I appreciate it. I can literally hear it in my headphones. I hope his eardrum stopped working. What the hell is wrong with these people?
I don't know, but the only thing I do know is that at some point I have to be in Baton Rouge, but I just don't know when.
Yes, and that will be coming probably in the next couple of weeks.
And then after that, at some point I have to be back up here for Homegrown.
Then we might have a scheduling We'll figure something out. We'll figure something out, whether it be like a weekend or something like that or whatever. We'll figure something out.
Well, Homegrown's July 29th, so we'll figure something out. Anyway, speaking of Homegrown, Scott, you think we need to start doing some giveaways for the tickets?
That's completely up to you. We should have some shirts coming in soon. We can give those away for tickets.
It just stinks that right now. It just stinks that right now I got like 8 tickets just waiting to be given away, and they waited to be given away, and they're just sitting there.
Well, then, sounds like you need to organize a giveaway. That's right. Yeah, you heard him correctly. The first 10 people right now to DM the CSHR radio page their most ridiculous picture they can possibly think of on their camera roll gets well, no, not the first 10, the first 8. I forgot. Right. You said 8 tickets. I can't count right now. Anyway, the first 8 people, which you only have like a couple of people watching right now, so that means you'll be getting like random DMs.
Well, just remember, you either have to live in the Chicagoland area or be in the Chicagoland area for July 28th, 29th weekend. If not, then that's the only way you get the tickets. And doing this. So, but yeah, whoever sends the 2 most ridiculous. Please send us the DM of what you said, the most ridiculous picture on your phone.
Yes, the most ridiculous
picture on the phone, and whichever 2 people has the most ridiculous, and whichever person has the most ridiculous photo is going to win 2 tickets for Homegrown. So there you go.
John T-Pal says he would like to have one of those T-shirts.
Absolutely. Agree. T-Pal. I love that.
I didn't even see that. I didn't even see that comment. I just repronounced it.
Man.
So actually,
yeah, we could do something like that. Yeah, we could have giveaways for the T-shirts as well, provided we'll just see how these how this next batch comes out first. But
yeah, which I seen some of the mock-ups before they were actually being put together, and they look great.
Yeah.
The logos are going to be a little bit bigger than they were on the last batch.
Good.
And they're going to.
I'm just hoping I got the sizes right.
I mean, I ordered them the way we wrote them out, but that was.
I know. That's why I'm nervous. I'm like, I hope I didn't get up, but.
I mean, that was the most confusing. Okay, I need 3 shirts, 1 2X, 3 1X, 2 more large, and it's like, dude, just tell me like a whole total. And I just couldn't get you to get that. And
I just have to be specific with these things, right?
I really thought I was going to have a stroke there for a minute. I thought either one of us was having a stroke. I was like, is it him or is it me?
God, that's funny. I thought I was going to have a stroke there for a bit. That's like one of your trademark phrases.
I didn't know what was going on. I was so confused. I was like, God, how many freaking of what do you need? Well, I need this, and and I need 3 more of these, and add 1 of these, and put 1 over here, carry the 2. The square root of pi is God damn it, just tell me what you want. This is the perils of having a business partner like Harshmed.
Hey, what can I say when your business partner asks you to be specific about something, and then you are specific about something? It's like,
but that was the thing.
I'm having a stroke.
The problem is that you weren't being specific. That was the scary part. And I really do believe in your mind you thought you were being specific as fuck.
Yeah, it was for the first half of it, I thought, but
And then when you finally sent me the list, it was like, oh, thank God.
You had to write a mini spreadsheet in there just for you, just so.
A mini spreadsheet.
Relieve your tension.
But yeah, all of them are coming here because I don't know. But they're all coming here and then they're going up to you. But I'm just going to pull mine out.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize how far. So Queenie's in Oklahoma, right?
I'm not 100%. No, Queenie's not in Oklahoma.
Oh.
No. I want to say she's around the Georgia area.
Oh, okay.
Which I need to check in with her anyway. Today's Friday, so she should be about done with everything.
Right. But yeah, I was about to say in regards to all that,
and like I said, I saw the mock-ups when she was showing, she was like, hey, is this size going to work for you? This is where we could do what we could do with it. What do you think of this one? And I was like, man, the mock-ups came up great. They really did. So if the shirts look even half as good as the mock-ups look, we're going to like them.
All right. Well, yeah, because I definitely have to give some away to some of the people out here. That's for sure.
Well, I mean, it wasn't that the point of ordering so many?
Yes, that is correct. And speaking of people who'd like to order one of those shirts, he says, if you guys give me a T-shirt, my size is a
don't read that out loud. John, if you can, DM the page you're watching on. I'm not sure what page you're watching on right now, but DM us directly from there. And we can set something up like that for you.
Good. Yeah. You know how the Kiwis are. They don't care what you know about them. You ain't gonna do all to them anyway. So that's the Maori spirit with them. So.
And is there a postal
they don't care
code?
If you know about them.
Is there a postal code in New Zealand? I don't know how the mail system works all around the world.
I believe there is.
So we would need that part of your address as well, sir. But if you DM the page, that would be great. And we do have 3 different shirts to choose from, so we'll just reach our hand in the pot and throw you one.
Yeah.
And I think Jason King wants 3 of the large, one of each. So I'm gonna see what I can do for him. I think I have some extras in mind. So those are going to California.
Wolves.
Nationwide, sir. Well, international, actually. I'm pretty sure Mike, if you're listening, we do have one put off to the side for you. You just need to let me know what size you wear, and we'll be sending that to the UK. I don't know if you're still listening or not. I know he was at work earlier listening, so.
Well, apparently, New Zealand has its own share of postal codes as well. So
it doesn't. Okay. Well, I mean, no, that's fine, John. If you want to, if you just attach the postal code to it, we'll figure out a way to contact you to make sure you know.
Yeah. I believe he's commenting from the radio page. So.
Oh, okay. CSHR radio.
Yes, from what I.
All right. What I'll do is whenever we wind down, probably tomorrow, I'll just hop on the same thread on my regular account, and we'll figure out the details, John, for
you. Okay. So absolutely.
I would say tonight, but I'm old and I have to get rest. I have not been sleeping though. I only average like 4 hours a night now. Really sucks.
That's not good.
No, it really sucks.
It's terrible. So how are you going to be able to remedy that?
I can still do it.
Not sleep more than 4 hours?
I mean, I'm already up normally.
No. I'm surprised you don't have any strains of weed that help for that. Like maybe indica or something.
No, that would be a sativa. That's the one that picks you up. But I don't know
if
that
would keeps you asleep, I mean.
Oh, yeah, that would be indica. But no, it's the issue. My medical issues is what wakes me up like crazy. Like I'll wake up in the middle of the night with, this extreme urge to go use the bathroom and just all kind of crazy shit. And it's nuts. And it just wakes me up at random times, which makes it even more fun. It's like Russian roulette with sleep.
That's great. It's funny.
It is and it's not. All at the same time. It's still like, did this actually really happen?
Right.
It was weird. And I hear the puppies. She must be taking them out. So aside from homegrown, that is the 29th of this upcoming month. Is it going to be more than one day this year, or is it going to be?
I think it's one day, but it's about about 12 hours worth of There's like 3 different stages, and it's at least 12 hours worth of entertainment on each stage. So There's like so many different bands performing.
Yes, and I'm under the impression that one of our own is going to be performing as well. Am I wrong?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Julio's going to be performing with the band coming up. So
that's awesome.
That's awesome.
I wish him all the luck in the world. For anybody that's watching that doesn't know or listening that doesn't know, Julio is one of our great musicians that unfortunately is way too busy right now.
Yeah.
But he was a part of the show, and hopefully he comes back.
No, absolutely. So I got 8 tickets ready to be given away.
Awesome, and we can definitely yeah, we definitely need to get all of that together.
Yes, we do.
What is that? I just had something weird pop up on my computer. Hang on a second. Let me look at this.
Like I said, we got homegrown. We're gonna have T-shirts. We're gonna have a lot of giveaways this month. So you got to be prepared to what do you call it? See, stay tuned with the pages.
Yes, stay tuned with the pages.
And speaking of which, I don't know what you're doing on Monday. I don't know what you're doing on Monday, but Max and I might be interviewing another artist from the Toledo. Maximus and I might be interviewing another artist from the Toledo area.
Okay.
On July 3rd.
Let's see. Okay, T-shirts are being shipped Monday. Okay. And she finished the order yesterday. She's got individuals to do over the weekend, and she's going to ship everything on Monday.
Cool. That's good. Yeah, I got tickets to Homegrown. They're all coming up this week. 8 tickets, These are for gifts. These are to give away.
The Homegrown Music Festival, I'm really going to tell you that it's going to have a lot of the music that Wesley showcases on Wednesday nights during his show, the Chi-Town Injection. So, I mean, it's going to be an excellent show. It's going to be a really big thing. For anybody that's watching later, or even now, if you live in the Chicagoland area, please shoot us a message. We'll get you to this show. I mean, it's going to be an awesome show. You'll love it.
All right.
It's a big event. We're going to try to bring Homegrown all around the country eventually. So.
Absolutely. I guess.
You hear there's going to be one at the Pallet Kingdom?
That might be in 2025. We'll have the Dustin Davis Homegrown Arts and Music Festival 2025, right?
Yes. Perfect. 2025.
That's awesome. There you go. God. The Pallet Ford people. What are they going to turn themselves in? Like, what are they even trying to do?
I don't know. The whole Crayola thing is just funny to me because
it is.
Like, legally I could do whatever I want with it. I mean, it's mine.
Right.
And I don't know. I'm going to let them just continuously spin now at this point because it's just more. The more I watch it, the more I laugh.
Right.
So, I mean, it's like, the more Patrick spins out, the more hilarious it is to me. I just.
Oh my God. Did you watch that last video he did called? Yeah, like that guy doesn't look a day over 60.
bruh.
What the happened?
He's not even 30 yet, so I don't get it. It's
you want to have somebody who looks like death. Oh my god!
And Olivia's like, it's to the point to where he wakes up screaming your name, and I was like, I know, it's great. I'm loving every second of this. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I saw him. I'm like, what the hell happened?
Yes, John. If you come back to the page after you go get your grandbabies, we'll still be here. Well, I mean, we won't physically still be here, but the show will be here.
Right. He says, I've got to go. I have 2 grandchildren to look after. Will you have that show on video? They have something like that show here. Oh, yeah. We're definitely going to be live streaming from there as well. We're definitely going to be live. Ideally, we have 3 different people live streaming events, but with their own, table, booths, and everything. But, I mean, I have stuff to talk with the founders that be of that. But, anyhow.
That, and it would be a lot of equipment to get up north.
Yeah.
So, which, I mean, it's still doable. I mean, we have a whole month, so we might be able to pull that off.
Depends, yeah.
I mean, I'm not promising anything, but I mean, it's in a month. I might feel well enough to just pack the truck up and head up there.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We'll definitely make a week out of it. We'll definitely have some fun with that's for sure.
Right.
And what was it? But yeah, I mean, worst come to worst, I'll definitely try to hire some sound engineers for that week. Just to set everything up. But if you can't make it, so.
I'm gonna try like hell because I mean, I'm all for getting out of the house now at this point. It's sad whenever you like go to Walmart and you catch yourself just like wandering around in sections that you used to have to shop in, but you don't need anything now. So you just kind of like wander around in there.
Jesus Christ.
And I always got to fight somebody over the little electric carts. Bastards.
I mean, I don't even go to Walmart unless like I really need some itineraries or something or the times or unless it's I had to get some, some aftershave or whatever, or maybe like, or in the early days when I go there to buy a bunch of crayons in bulk, to give away to the people. At some point, we need to get gift bags with their damn logos on it too.
Yes. You know what? That's a good question. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, we got to start doing that. That way more people get the name and the business cards and all that fun stuff.
I'm asking that question right now.
If we could get that by homegrown, then, now we'll definitely be in business. Ideally a week before homegrown so I can prepare everything, but...
Yeah, like a small like messenger type bag. That's what I'm asking about right now.
Small gift bag, of course, and some stickers. You know what's funny thing about the whole CrayolaSec thing, the whole CrayolaSec saga?
What's that?
I wasn't even a fan of the damn a name after like March because I was like, this is so stupid. Because the way the Pallet Ford people wanted to like have it represented. I'm the red one, you're the green one, I'm the purple. As if it was like some retarded version of the Power Rangers. And then all of a sudden, because you start trademarking the name, I start having fun with the idea that you own it. So next thing I know, I'm going to like a Jewel Osco or in a Walmart just to buy crayons for the gift bags. And the crazy thing about it is all the musicians love it. They love that shit. Well, I don't know. Like, you can't make it up. Go, Harsh, thank you so much for the gift bag. My boyfriend like it. Oh, thank you so much. We really loved it. I'm like,
okay, but for the simple fact that I'm a musician myself, I can tell you that most of us are simple enough to color because we have simple minds.
Right. But it's ironic because you think a bunch of adults would, the last thing they'd want to do is just color. You think they want to do other things, but
Okay,
It's
she
awesome.
can. She said as long as the bag is like 50% cotton, so she can press vinyl or printable vinyl to it,
That's
and
fine.
she can also cut stickers too.
That's fine. Yeah, we could do that. Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, the whole thing is so cool, all because you decided to troll a bunch of Pallet Fort retards. We have a beautiful thing going now. It's so weird. It's so weird. It's like, how does this make sense?
It doesn't. I really don't get it. And
I don't either.
now she's been threatened to have me thrown in jail, and I'm still trying to figure out what for. And I'm like, I didn't even do anything illegal. The only thing I did was say you're not a member on the website, and you've been spinning now for over a week.
Well, the thing is, if she actually does go to to the police, she'll end up they'll probably end up taking away custody of her children because they're going to start investigating what the hell she's doing, and like,
well,
you're going
exactly. So I mean, it's like, so do you shoot yourself in the foot to try to prove a point, or do you just walk away and shut up?
Well, they've had the walk away option for what, a year?
Longer than that.
At least, and they still haven't done it. Like,
I mean, I'm pretty much just shut everything down, and I was like, all right, I'm just not even gonna bother with it. And then it just kept on and on and on and on, and I was like, you know what? I'm tired of hearing this shit.
yeah. You notice that a lot of people's reputations went to crap. Like when you found out who was supporting these idiots, a lot of people who had like high reputations in the past that all went to shit.
Well, yeah.
It's just crazy how quickly that went because these morons wouldn't just, be quiet and go away. All they did was damage the reputation of their friends and their friends and their online buddies. It's just like.
Hold on. All right. Sorry. I had to send a quick message to someone.
Cool. John says, I'm following your radio show on my phone and add you to my page. Cheers. Cools.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate that.
Well, yeah, I mean, the whole thing has just been popping off now. Like, people really love the gift bags the musicians love the gift bags up here. They really do.
Hi, Trinket. Trinket Trinks says hi from QLD Australia.
I mean, it's just crazy how quickly this whole thing is like taken off. It's like,
I don't know. And I mean, I wasn't even interested in becoming a person in the limelight, and okay, let me just go throw myself in the middle of it.
Well, that's what happens when you miss the days of doing radio shows, and you want to start, and you have all that money and all that equipment, and you're just like, well, I might as well start again. So there you go.
It's only because I have a wonderful voice.
Yes. Anyhow,
as if we could make this a little more strange.
Yeah, it's just the whole thing is it's just crazy how quickly everything's turned up, and then we got like local artists being featured because we like artwork.
Yeah, and people's been riding my butt to get my thing restarted, where I was doing the live streams from the different bars during the week and stuff like that. So as soon as I started feeling a little better, that's what we're going to start doing again.
Like I said, once I have to come down there, like whether it's like next week or the week after, I'll definitely help out with all that.
Yeah, I mean, it would be great to get you around and introduce to everyone that has been. I mean, you know, the extra shirts I had, they're floating all over the place out here now in different venues and stuff, which is pretty cool. And, you know, you being able to meet those people would be perfect.
Exactly. And hopefully when you're up here, it'll be the same thing, you know, with people like Alex, you know, rocking the shirts again, and some of the other musicians and artists rocking the shirts for Homegrown. So.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Michael, if you're listening, I'll just send it here. International shipping, I bet you that's going to be expensive.
That's usually how that goes.
He's one of our faithful listeners. He's online every time we go live. So I got to make sure I look out for him.
One of our favorite people for sure.
Trinket watches the CrayolaSec page, and I'm glad you enjoy it.
I like the new CrayolaSec logo. It's very clean, very neat, very professional.
It's time for a new era.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Speaking of which, we have to do a 1-year anniversary show soon.
It won't be long.
Yeah, 1-year anniversary for CSHR. They got the 5-year anniversary of the death threat. So I mean, it's a lot.
The death threats.
I mean, it's a lot. And then we got Homegrown, and then we're gonna have like more people. I mean, it's
the 2-year anniversary of the mental breakdowns.
Yeah, there you go. That's true. There it is. There you go. Oh, I thought that's 2024 when you have the 2-year anniversary of the mental breakdowns.
No, well, it started like 2 years ago.
Oh,
you don't remember all that? How does your mind just like forget?
I'm trying to remember which ones. There's so many of them.
Anyway, this upcoming month on the 23rd will mark the 1-year anniversary for CSHR Radio.
Oh yeah, I remember a year at this time. People were going after what do you call it? I remember a year ago at this time, certain known child groomers were trying to rebuild their name by doxing Gary Lucas. It was like the most bizarre thing ever. Hey man, you know what I mean? Hey, Gary's a piece of shit. Let me give you his birth certificate, Tatiana. And then Gary got so upset because he thought Addie Lone Wolf gave him the birth certificate. It's like, no. Oh yeah, that was the Gary Lucas time. So what was going on when Gary Lucas was being trolled?
I don't know. I don't even know what happened to Gary. Where did he go anyway?
I don't know.
He just like
the only thing I know is that
he never even showed up while this guy was trying to troll him, which was the funniest part. Yeah. It's like, okay, so we know there's actually a person, but never even saw him before. That's weird.
Never saw him before, never saw him since.
Right. I mean, never saw him during.
No. When he just made some videos of Logan Arena, and you're just like, okay, I don't care. Like, I don't care about these people.
All these random pages and stuff. Gary Lucas is this. Gary Lucas is that. Who the hell is Gary Lucas?
It's weird. The whole thing was strange.
I mean, if he would have been like interactive, at least, you know, like at least popped up once and went, "Hey, I'm Gary," but he didn't even give us that.
No,
Gary is a legend. Gary is untrollable. The untrollable Gary Lucas.
The only thing that ended up happening is he kept just yelling about Trick and the rest of the idiots, which in retrospect, you know, I do find it odd that he got bullied. He got bullied offline right when Trick needed him offline the most.
You know, I am not I'm not going to say why I think that is, but I'm pretty sure, in order for me not to say that they were the same person, because I don't want to say they were the same person, but they were the same person, but I'm not going to actually say that, okay?
They're the same personality. I mean, let's call it what it is, but the only difference is, well, one had a good facade and one had a decent facade and the other didn't.
Also, Mr. Caleb Hamdy, a friend of the show, is now requesting a t-shirt as well.
Good. Happy to hear that. I mean but the whole thing was just bizarre. I mean, the guy that had Trick's secret somehow started going away when Trick was not feeling safe. Interesting.
I wonder why.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter anymore because at this point, who wants to know anything more about these losers anyhow?
I mean, I know enough to do me for quite a while.
Yeah. Like at this point, I know enough about them to where it doesn't matter what you tell me. Not my opinion about them's not going to change.
Right.
Like you could tell me that Trick is a cannibal, and I'd just be like, yeah, that's not surprising. You could tell me Trick is helping the homeless. I'm like, well, he's still a pedophile. Like it doesn't change anything at this point. Him or the rest of those losers, for that matter. Really. Just it's like the old days, isn't it?
Yes. To be honest with you, I don't miss those days because my side, I really got tired of my side hurting from laughter. It's like, how are you just this dumb and you still function in society? I don't get it.
I don't either. The only thing I do know is that usually when certain people get dealt with, they tend to know what happened to them and and cut their losses and move on. With these idiots, it's like, I mean, it's like singing the same song at karaoke over and over again. That's really what it is.
Yep.
It's just like listening to the same album over and over again. Like you already know the song, you already know the lyrics. At this point, you know the tempo and the beats. It's just that crazy. And you know when to start, when the interval comes. It's just like.
Mr. King, we're in the middle of a live stream, sir, so I can't play your voice notes because there's no telling what the hell they're about. And that's just not a great option right now at this point in time because you scare me. And that's all I'm going to say about that. And Sid.
Okay, yeah, I kind of get that.
John says he just found us on an app site called Fun Plus.
Okay. Oh, we're happy to be there. There you go. Well, I'm happy with the way the show's gone.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Definitely not complaining after 50 minutes. I mean, that's what I don't understand. Like, how is it that people have become this stupid? Like, even there's like truthers, critical thinkers, and researchers that have become like just full on retarded.
The whole thing about it is these people were always around. We just didn't know about it because there wasn't tools and avenues like social media for them to be able to like get all of that crap out.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I mean, they didn't have a voice before. Now they do. They have social media, whether they're on here or YouTube, where we're also streaming currently, or over the radio, where we're also streaming, and, you know, so on and so forth. They have a platform to actually get out there now. And that's the worst part about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's a double-edged sword, because I mean, it's kind of weird, because on one hand, it just exposes like how fake everything really is and how fake everyone really is. It's like, how do you call yourself a quote unquote truther, a critical thinking researcher, if you're a quote unquote truther who can't decipher truth from fiction?
Or you don't have any citations or anything or any type of proof to back what you claim.
Right.
Which,
like the whole point, the whole point of someone being able to be a truther is you're supposed to decipher truth from lies like that, without any sort of, not just backing or whatever, but without having it spoon fed to you, is what I'm saying.
Well,
and then
those people are unhinged. I mean, I don't even care what type of people get mad at me for saying this, but those types of people are mentally deranged. That's just plain and simple.
Right. I mean, how could someone have critical thinking, call themselves a critical thinker and have no critical thinking skills? That makes no sense to me. It's like, so wait a second, you claim you're a critical thinker, but you don't know when people are lying to you. You don't know how to figure out if you're being told the truth. You don't know how to do basic research. You don't know how to like analyze anything at all. And then like you have researchers who can't research. It's like, look, if you call yourself a researcher and you can't research public records, you're a waste of oxygen.
That's right. And Mr. Jason King has this to say.
Shoot. My apologies. I was not aware of that. Nonetheless, Eric, you got pretty mouth on my fucking face, boy. I mean, that's all there is to it. Okay? That's all there is to it. You know, I just wake up and I piss excellent.
See, that's why we can't play your voice notes on air, sir.
You know what? Send him a link to the show. Send him a link. Let's do it. Send him a link.
All right, let's see.
Send him a Zoom link. Let's have some fun.
Oh, okay. You want me to send him that link? Okay, hang on a second. Let me. I will do that. Let's see if he.
But some of these idiots who call themselves truthers, critical thinkers, and researchers are so stupid. They'll listen to something like, how do you know my daughter died? It takes 8 months to get an autopsy report. It takes 8 months.
I have never seen anyone take 8 months to do an autopsy.
Right.
What are you doing?
If you're hearing that and you're like, oh, that makes sense, you should just consider the benefits of suicide. You're just that. You can't be saved. Like, if you hear, they're like, what the is he talking about? Like, if you hear something like this, that asinine, and you're like, oh, well, a point. It does take a long time. Not 6 to 8 months. And to tie it back to the pallet fort people, I remember when Fatso himself was talking about, in the bumfuck middle of nowhere places, it takes 5 months. It takes months to investigate a hit and run. Really?
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't take more than a week to investigate a hit and run.
It could take a day or it could take forever. Because, I mean, it's a hit and run.
Right.
All right, Jason says he's down. I just sent him a link. So I don't know.
Right. It's what car insurance companies hate? Their automobiles being involved in hit and runs. So it's not going to take more than a week.
Wait, people have insurance? Shit.
Sadly.
I knew I was screwing something up. All right, he just sent me another voice note, so let's play this one and see what this one is.
About to drop a deuce real quick in the bathroom, and in the bathroom there's like no reception. So as soon as I get out, I'll walk out to the father reception tree, and I got you.
All right, well, there you have it. After he makes his dookie.
Cool.
All right, well, let me read Trinket. Well, all right. She says my mate died. He says my mate died of sleep apnea, and it took 12 months to get the autopsy. Well, Australia is more restrictive.
Well, and then again, you have bureaucracy and everything else to go through. I'm pretty sure the autopsy did not take 12 months to complete.
No, it didn't take 12 months to complete. It probably took them 12
week.
months to get because, well, it's Australia.
Right.
Her parents were in Devo, and she was their only child. Well, yeah, again, that's a difference but it didn't take them 12 months to fill it out. It probably took them like 12 minutes.
Right.
Maybe 12 hours at the most if they're like, Sarah, I'm having lunch.
And then all the other variables that work into that would be that she's an only child, and the parents probably pushed for extra testing, so on and so forth, just to make sure that their child just didn't die for some random reason.
Right.
Yes, the Australian government, yes, all governments suck. It's not just Australia.
Right. All governments suck, but theirs is somehow worse than ours. I don't even know how. But
they're like a subsidiary of China.
I mean, that's even worse. Like before I used to be like, back in the cricket days, I used to just hate the Australians and their fans or whatever. But now you're like, Jesus Christ, you feel sorry for them as people because it's terrible. Like what they live through is just horrible.
For the people,
right?
I mean,
I feel bad for the people because their restrictions are way worse than up here.
Yeah, I mean they're supposed to be not a democracy. What would you call that type?
Commonwealth.
No, but it's supposed to be governed like a republic, like we are. But they really don't have, those people really don't have voices.
No.
At all.
I mean, at this point, all Australian people have is like rugby and cricket to look forward to.
That's even worse.
It's like they're just trapped everywhere else.
Joe Logan says, hello, people. Hey, Mr. Joe, how are you today?
But that's what happens when, the Crocodile Dundee types tell everyone to turn their guns in, so.
Yeah,
back in good old 1996.
I can just imagine what would happen if they tried that here.
That would be very well. I'd like to believe that's the case, but from what I saw in 2020,
I would see if they were trying to do something like that. I definitely see some type of civil war starting because of it.
I would hope that'd be the response, but after what I've seen in the last few years, I wouldn't consider that an even money bet.
No, that's fair. That's fair because I mean, they've been slowly force feeding everyone pedophilia for so long now that it's becoming mainstream.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there's that, but then also it's like if you saw in 2020, there's a lot of people that I thought were, free thinkers and anarchists and all this other stuff just complying with whatever the government told them to do. And it's just like, okay.
Trinket says she was too young to vote when they took their guns. And she also says, never give up your guns. Joe Logan says it takes longer to come up with a story the corporation is happy with.
Right.
Well, I mean, agreed. Absolutely.
But like I said, 2020 was a great test trial run to see how you'd comply. And people complied like there was no tomorrow. Man.
I mean, it was just the spur of the moment type, the spur of the moment type disease that just pops up out of nowhere and the government's telling you all these things. Of course, people are going to go, hey, wait a second, is this actually true? Or, what I mean?
Yeah, but for every person that said, wait a second, this is actually true, there were like 1,000 others like, oh, okay, no problem.
Well, yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. It's ridiculous. Tell them you're busy. You can't answer the phone. I heard that.
I know. Anyway, what was I going to say? But it got to the point where I told people, yeah, you know what? I went to a house party right before the shutdown. I was like, oh, really? That's awesome. You're just like, it wasn't that good of a party. It was just nice to be around friends, having, just having a few brews, having some
having a few shots, just be like, hey, we get to be normal for a bit. It's like, yeah. But anyway,
really
I mean, the
know.
whole thing's just stupid. But now we're at the point where it's like, people think if you say stuff like that, you're like really knowledgeable. It's like, no, you're not. You're just saying what everyone else already knows, but like half a brain cell already knows.
Right.
You know.
I just got some fresh Hubig pies.
That's awesome.
If you're not from here, you wouldn't know what they are, but they are some excellent fruit-filled pies.
It's good.
My lovely fiance, my beautiful fiance, just brought them to me. She is so awesome.
It's good. We are at the 1 hour and 1 minute. Let me read the comments first. Trinket says, I follow the false flag hound and he predicts mass shootings and expose crisis actors. It's all designed to fear monger, so the majority cheap boat your guns out. Yeah, that's pretty much the case.
Well, look at all of the news that pops up just all of a sudden out of the blue. Yeah. And it just, these are covering up other things because you see the news articles about things that happen while everybody's obsessed about these 5 idiots in a submarine.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, the submarine thing was so stupid, but I hate to say something like this, but I mean, everyone talks about saving lives, saving lives, saving lives. But as long as people the 5 submarine people inhabit Earth, you're gonna have like starving children as the other side of the pendulum. For people that wealthy to exist, there's going to be at least half a million to half a billion. Half a million starving children because of it.
If you're dumb enough to pay $250,000 to get in a submarine that everyone that has ever inspected it from the first day it was created says that this is probably going to kill you, and you still go down, then that implosion was natural selection at that point.
Right. The only person I feel sorry for is the son of one of them, because he was probably just like convinced to go on by his dad.
No, he was an adult.
But the rest of them, no.
He was an adult, so you really can't even say that for him. He was an adult,
I suppose. But anyway, the point being is, everyone talks about saving lives, saving humanity, and others. Like, you really can't save lives in a country like the U.S. or even the Western world, because everything is poisoned to shit. Like when the water's poisoned, the land's poisoned, the air's poisoned, the food's poisoned. Well, how do you really save a life? You can't. All you're doing is prolonging the inevitable, postponing the inevitable. And the sad part is,
Trinket says billionaires are good people deep down, and that is the perfect comment regarding the submarine.
That is a perfect comment, and I'm glad Trinket said that, because those billionaires dying was actually better for humanity than any sort of activism that could exist. I hate saying stuff like this, but when billionaires like that die, that's fewer starving children that inhabit the planet.
Exactly. But the funniest thing about it was they were like, oh God, these people are trapped in a submarine, and the internet was just like, okay, hold my beer and watch this.
Correct.
I mean, and that should have been a gauge for media at that point to go, okay, the American people just really don't even care about this. So why do we keep forcing it? Why? Because they were hiding other things.
Exactly. You have to remember, the media isn't allowed to report anything unless the CIA approves of it in this country. But I mean, it's kind of weird when you go to like a work seminar, and one of the people who are hosting it used to be a program manager for the news, and they're telling you, don't watch the news. It's just made to give you a panic attack. When you have people who used to work in those industries telling you, don't watch the news, that tells you how like screwed up the news is. Yeah. That's what it is. I mean, but that's what it is. It's just,
But the thing is that with the way things are, like from a socioeconomic standpoint, the majority of the people are not going to have any sympathy for dying billionaires. Dying billionaires, it's just how that goes. Because you know why? Most of these people who are billionaires and trillionaires and whatnot do not have sympathy for the common person on a day-to-day aspect. They don't.
Joe
they don't
Logan
care.
says, you're complying by not revolting. I'm not a leader. Nobody will follow me, but rebellion is the answer, and not because it is how other civilizations before us destroyed themselves. Rebellion is the answer because we need to quit being vaginas. And if we possibly win, it's better for the children. You're right to an extent. Right. I mean, the silent majority is what rules this country. However, they're too silent. They need to speak out. You know,
the problem with the silent majority is, they take the problem with them is, they'll vote with their pocketbooks, but that's all they'll do. Like they're the ultimate example of, well, don't vote with don't use your voice, use your wallets. Vote with your wallets, not your voice, and they take that too damn literally.
Well, and I mean it works whenever they decide to cancel a corporation, like with Bud Light and a few others recently. However, the problem is it's just not. It's not the answer. I mean, it really isn't. You have to actually speak up. You have to actually talk. You can't rule everything with a pocketbook. Yeah, it hurts a corporation for a while, but you still got this liberal minority that's screaming like a bunch of idiots on mass media. That's the ones you have to talk out against.
Exactly. I mean, the whole thing is just messed up. It's like, you vote with your pocketbook. That's nice. But you also have, like you said, you also have to speak up and act in other ways. It can't just be, well, we voted with our pocketbook and everything's fine and now we don't have to pay taxes. Like, no, that's not enough. But then again, speaking up on issues, if all you do is speak up on an issue, you're not really doing anything either. You're just virtue signaling. So it's like, it's a balance. It's a multifaceted front, so to speak.
Exactly. Not speaking out gets you the type of country we live in now. Where everything's controlled opposition, everything is media hysteria, everything is inflation, everything is a down economy. That's what being silent causes.
Yeah.
That's why pedophilia is being forced down your throat daily on television. That's why people are starting to think it's okay to have drag queens dancing around in front of kids half naked.
Yeah.
That's the reason why.
Yeah, it's
because the silent majority doesn't say anything.
No.
They wait until they get pissed off by somebody like Dylan Mulvaney being put on the side of a beer can before they use their pocketbooks to try and force a company to do what they want.
Exactly.
That does not work.
Right. I mean, the whole gross thing about it is like you shouldn't be taking your child to a bar or a strip club. Like if it's 21 means 21. Like you shouldn't be doing. I mean, you're a terrible parent if you think otherwise. But the crazy part of the LGBT stuff is, but if you put LGBT community into an event where it's 21 means 21, all of a sudden it's okay to take your kids to that event when it's not. That's gross. That's degeneracy.
Trinket Trinks says the parasite elites know how to control us. If we are in fear or angry or violent, but they don't know how to control humor. When we mean the hell out of everything and turn it into a joke, they don't know what to do with us. That's true to an extent, but at the same time, making memes is not going to fix anything. Joe Logan says it's a distraction to get people to look at something besides people dying from the COVID vaccines. And also, so is Russia. Russia has always been our enemy, except when we are at war with the country, and then all of a sudden Russia's our ally.
Yeah, that's how it was with the last few world wars, that's for sure. But to go back to the point, I mean, it's all a distraction. A lot of this is nonsense. Because here's the thing, even about like the things you're talking about when it comes to the liberal minority, when it comes to the LGBT stuff and all that, less than 1% of the country actually goes by that.
Exactly.
Like,
and
most people really don't give a fuck about any of this. They're like, look, you have your rights. I don't care. Let's just live life.
It's not just an even localized thing. This is international. These weird things that's going on. It's like, what the hell is going on with people? I mean, Great Britain participated in all of those sanctions against Russia. Russia's such a vast country with so many resources, it didn't even dent their economy. And now they're talking about having to do rolling blackouts in the UK because they don't have enough fuel to run anything.
Yeah.
So you shot yourself in the foot to spite your face, basically, is what you did right now.
Yeah, welcome back to the 70s, UK. Have fun with that. Well, I mean, the Eastern world just laughs at the Western world now. They just laugh. It's like, what the hell's wrong with these idiots?
And, you know, and that's a sad reality. It really is. You know, like when we were talking about first world and third world problems, you're right. We're not a first world anymore.
No.
We're far from it now.
Yeah, America's a third world country with a first world economy. I mean, a first world military. That's it.
Joe Logan says it shows what a nation of vaginas we've become. Bet other countries don't have these issues. Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Western countries do. Eastern countries don't.
Well, any European country is having the same issues. Anywhere that wants to mirror the Western world is having issues, basically.
And I mean, a lot of countries have their own issues as well, but a lot of countries also know who they are as people and as a society. You really can't say that about the West right now.
Exactly.
And Country Joe Logan says, anything that's on the MSM is bullet times 10. Agreed.
Yes, definitely agree.
Right. And I mean, but you know what's the messed up thing about the LGBT community when it comes to like how people have to treat the trans thing? It's like, okay, if people want to exist, it's beautiful, it's fine. But when it's like, when all of a sudden people started getting called transphobic, not because oh, you know, they're okay with their existence, not because they celebrate the change or whatever, but some of these morons start calling people transphobic because they're not attracted to the trans women. I mean, that sounds like that's like such a rapist mentality. You're a transphobe if you don't think that trans woman is hot. It's like, what the fuck? I mean, that's rape culture. I mean, that's no different than saying, well, you know, that'd be no different if like, you know, if a girl if like a black girl Scott made a move on a black woman and that woman didn't like, and that woman, you know, rejected Scott or whatever. And then Scott's like, well, you don't like French people, you're racist. You don't like French people, you're racist. You're racist because you want to have sex with them. Like, no, that's not how that works.
No, I mean, it's a preference.
Right.
You know, I prefer my women
it's a preference with these,
with a vagina.
You know, idiots think that's not the case.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's a full transition, I'm not interested.
Right.
Why? Because that person was not born a woman.
Right. Exactly. But the thing is, though, if you replace, you know, the trans with just a regular person, and then you replicate that same situation, somehow people aren't too willing to use that same logic. That's what I've noticed. I mean, it'd basically be like saying if I make a move on some random Becky and she's like, no, not today. And all of a sudden I'm like, well, you don't want to sleep with me because you're a racist toward Indian people because you don't want to have sex with them. No, that's not how that works. I mean, that's such a sexual predator mindset that some of these idiots have. It's gross.
Jason,
and then they wonder why like pedophiles get to do what they want. It's like, well, if you're gonna have a rape culture mentality, if you're gonna have a rapist mentality and perpetuate de facto rape culture, then yeah, it's no wonder pedophiles get to fucking roam around. And oh, by the way, they're the ones who keep it's just, hey, I want to entertain your children, blah 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 blah. It's like, what the fuck happened to that community in the last 10 years? I don't get it. 10 years ago, they're like, get the kids the fuck away from me. It's party time, bitch. That's what they used to be like. They used to be normal-ish. Like, they used to be normal for, like, the whole LGBT thing. It's like, okay, let's just party. That's what it was. Get the kids away from me, honey. It's time to party.
Sweden.
It's time to tear this bitch up. Not, I want to read in front of your children. And the sad part is, I mean, I feel like I'm repeating myself because I've said this on the show before. But I feel bad for the LGBT community that doesn't support this. I feel bad for the majority of them because they're the ones that are like, fuck, Harvey Milk didn't die for this shit. This is so stupid.
What is Jason trying to tell me?
Okay, Scout, I'm ready. What do I do now?
All right, hang on a second. Let's see if we can get Jay in here.
All right, let me read some comments while you get Jay on the show.
Jason, all you have to do is that link I DM'd you, click on it, and you should be able to join the call that way.
There, anyway. A Trinket says they're distracting us from the high-profile pedos who should be in jail. Like Andy and the rest of Epstein's list, all of them are shaking in their boots, as they should be, and they should all be in prison. What is terrifying for you men, is that the trans surgery is so convincing that they may not disclose y'all that they were once a man in the future. Okay. You know what? I hate to say this, but if they're... I hate to say something. I hate to break this to you, but if you can't tell the difference in a male and a female, I'm not really sure what to tell you.
Michael's not realizing we're not running on delay.
Right. So Joe Logan says, so we're wrong because we don't like it? Bullshit. I have a right to like what I don't like. But if you're gay, you don't like me because you're a billionaire, come get me, babble-mo. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's just what it is. It's like, whatever happened to the freedom to choose? Freedom of choice. If you don't have freedom of choice, it doesn't matter.
All right, Jason just sent a video. Let's see what he says this time.
Oh, boy.
Get some cologne on. Just getting mosquito spray.
Apparently, he's getting eaten by mosquitoes.
That's awesome.
Right. Just go click on that link you sent me, huh? Uh-huh. All right. Nice try, Scobert.
Oh, Lord. I'm pretty sure it says zoom.com on it. I may be good, but I don't know how to spoof like actual company website names on links. So
yeah, you'd be pretty talented if that's actually remarkable if you'd be able to do that.
So that link is good.
That's funny. Gay billionaires, I'm here. LMAO, says Joe Logan. That's awesome. Well, if you're gay, like me, but you're a billionaire, come get me, LMAO.
Trying to get me. Because last time I clicked on the link, I got my dick stuck in the toaster. I'm not falling for it again. Ah, shit. Okay, I'm going to give it a try. If I get my dick stuck in the toaster again, I'm going to be mad. I'm going to go give it a try.
I don't know. Clicking on a link, get your dick stuck in a toaster.
I don't know if I want to know how that happens.
Well, if he clicks that, if the link works well enough, he'll be able to explain that to us within a few minutes.
Yes, because that is a very, very good question there. I
don't know people still use toasters. Bro, let alone get your dick stuck in a toaster.
How else are you going to toast your bread without a toaster, Harsh?
With the pan and a stove.
What?
You just spread some garlic on there. You just garlic and butter. You just keep flipping it up.
That's not toast.
Keep flipping the bread like it's a pancake.
That's not toast. What the hell?
It's toast. It tastes pretty toasted once you're finished with it.
That's grilled bread. That's not toasted bread.
Well, it tastes the same.
That's like making a very, very high class grilled cheese with garlic and butter and like, you know.
All right. Well, I guess when I'm there, I'll show you how that works, Scott.
Well, no, because we have a toaster and I know how to use that. You just push the little thing down and a few minutes later it pops back up and you have toast. It's not hard at all. It's very easy to use, actually.
You're like a child. I want my toast the old-fashioned way with the toaster.
I just don't see the need in like getting pans out and, you know, all these extra ingredients. It's toast. It's bread.
Right. But some people like to have stuff
Joe
on
Logan
their
says, Harsh, you're retarded, but you're funny.
Hey, billionaires, I'm a gay virgin. LMAO. Are you retarded before the who uses a toaster? Why do I use a toaster?
Who doesn't use a toaster? I'm so confused by you right now. Because that is like so strange.
That's such a 1990s concept to me.
It's like so strange. Who uses a toaster?
It's so 1990s to me. Then again, I try to minimize microwave use as much as possible. So. I don't know.
I don't think it worked for you. I don't think it worked for you. I'm pretty sure the microwaves have damaged something up there.
You know, I try to minimize the use though. But yeah.
Apparently, Angela has not forgotten about us. Recently got a text on the 1-800 number that was reporting some type of pedophilic site. So apparently she works for us now. So I have no idea what's going on over there in Mississippi. Angela, if you're listening, I'm going to pray for you, even though I'm an atheist and it's not going to work anyway, but we're going to try. You definitely need help, lady.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I'd feel guilty too if I was dumb enough to put my parents in a nursing home and they died post 2020. Like, how do you check your mom into a nursing home the year after the shutdown? The year after people literally were killed in their nursing homes in states like Michigan and New York, and you're like, I got a great idea. Let me put my mom in an abusive nursing home, and then get upset when she dies. You're an idiot. You killed your mother. That's what happened.
The whole thought process behind that is just, yeah.
And then she does like video after video. I want to find out who killed my mother in the nursing home. It's like, nursing homes are abusive.
Lee Houston says Pennsylvania.
Right.
And no, Joe, yeah, you're right. A microwave has absolutely nothing to do with toast, but Harsh is, you know.
I didn't say anything about microwave and toast. I said, then again, I don't use a microwave as much either, so I don't use a toaster as much. There you go. Anyway, the bottom line is Lee Houston is Pennsylvania when it comes to the nursing home abuse scandal. But yeah, that's the thing I don't get.
But Lee, have you ever heard of what happened in New Orleans after pretty much every major hurricane? I mean, they always are killing nursing home residents right after a hurricane.
I mean, if you're going to call yourself a truth or a critical thinker and a researcher, and you check your mother into a nursing home after 2020, yeah, you're basically an accomplice to her abuse and murder. That's it. There's nothing else to be said.
Yeah, I mean, but every state, I'm pretty sure, has some type of nursing home scandal.
They do. But after 2020, you made it even more of a, it became more of a got into the national spotlight. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like before 2020, it was like a known secret, but people are shh. But now it's like no one of the elites want to kill off half of the population. It's like
you know, I really don't have a problem with it now at this point, as long as they kill off the ones that just make you go, what the fuck?
Right.
Are you thinking?
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at this point too. It's like if you're dumb enough to believe that it takes 6 to 8 months for an autopsy report to be completed, you probably don't deserve to consume any oxygen at this point. Just
Joe says, by not revolting, we are all accomplices. Yeah, at the end of the day, that is true. It's like I said on my post earlier tonight. Too many people talk about the starving children, and not enough people are willing to help the starving children. I mean, that's the harsh reality of it all.
And then some of them want to eat the starving children.
Right. Lee Houston says it'll be the disabled and the elderly first. Yeah, that's a shame.
Wait a second, I'm disabled.
Yeah, sorry, Scott. It was nice knowing you.
Hey, but I have skills, so
yeah,
I'm okay.
Michael, I mean, it's true.
Michael Huntington says, "Damn, Scott." Jesus.
That's
okay. What's going on right now is basically we have the radio going as well, so I'm getting I think Jason got lost in his backyard. He should have been here by now.
Yeah, I don't know about something, but I just don't understand how you get stuck in a ceiling fan. But then again, we have truthers who check their parents into nursing homes after 2020. They complain about why they died, and then it's surprised. How did that happen? How did they die? It's like, well, you're an idiot who doesn't know how to research the most basic things, and then you wonder why they're dead.
Joe Logan says we're basically saying it's okay to kill us. Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, like I said, it's just everyone talks a good game, but no one practices what they preach. And it's, I mean, look at a state like Michigan. Look at a state like Michigan where they're poisoned to death in like so many ways. The biggest city in their state we filed for bankruptcy. And one of the other largest cities in their state has had a water crisis for about a decade. And yet they still vote. They still comply. They still vote. They still behave like everything's normal. Even though a generation of children are going to have, life-altering conditions forever.
And the sad thing about that is that Michigan's water is bad, especially in Flint, but it's not even the worst one in the country.
Not now, no. It was for a while, but not now. There's 3,000 towns and cities with higher lead levels in their water than Flint, Michigan.
Exactly.
Because, but yeah, that's after a decade, though. That's after a decade, that's the case. But that being said, and then you have some of these liberal idiots who, are friends with people with the palate fort retards that are like, oh, Republicans are bad, Republicans are evil. It's like, bro, you're from Michigan.
Well, I have an extra. And I mean, the current economy in every state right now, I really think I got an extra $20. I might just go buy the entire city of Gary, Indiana, just to say I own a city.
All right, well, we'll pitch in. I'll pitch in another 20 to make sure we buy it together.
Oh well, the extra 20 can start the police department back up because I don't even think they have a police department there anymore.
Right. I mean, it's just terrible. The whole thing is just terrible. It's like, how do you live in freaking Democrat-controlled Michigan talking about how Republicans are bad? Like, I don't even like Republicans. I don't care for them because it's always like the same stuff as Democrats. They just tease their base until push come to shove, and they don't do anything for them anyhow. But it's like, how do you even say that knowing that all your major cities are run by Democrats? And the people in charge of the water crisis were Democrat. And you're just like, what the hell? Like the Flint City Council, like you had a Flint City Council that signed off on the water change, the changing of the water supply. And you had the freaking like Flint City Council sell off all your reservoirs to Nestle for like 1 cent a gallon. And you want to lecture and you want to yell about Republicans? Like, what the hell is wrong with you?
It's crazy. I mean, it's Lee Houston says the homeless and minors are our canaries. If the folks who aren't eating right and don't have any hygiene available and they don't start dropping, then it's not real.
Yeah. Pretty much. Right. No, that is true. That is very true. But in Flint, that was real. I was there, so it's like, yeah, not a whole different story though. But you are right in general as a rule of thumb.
Yeah, I mean, hell, if Joe Logan says, hell, if America spent some millions on helping our homeless and helping vets that fought to make them rich, they wouldn't need wounded warriors, and there would be no hungry children anywhere, etc. But do you think the rich will grow a heart? I'll bet on a turtle to win a horse race first. That's a hell of an analogy, Joe. Thank you.
I love his analogies. It's so fun. I bet a turtle will win a horse race first. I love that. All right, let me play another thing from Sam from Okay.
Mike is arguing with everyone in the chat right now.
He's awesome.
And I'm sorry. Majesta, hang on, let me get this thing to record. Okay. Majesta, I'm sorry, but Utah is not real. I don't care what anybody says. You're the only person I've ever met in my entire life that actually lives there. So you can't. At this point, I think you're just a government operative. Okay, I'm done.
That definitely explains why she has so many profiles and she has like so many different hairstyles.
I love the love I get from CSHR. Well, we love you too, Mike. I think we lost Joe. Joe, are you still there?
No, he's there.
Oh, okay.
I think.
I don't know.
But I mean, the whole thing is just, I mean, that's why I live in such a messed up society. But yeah, as for Majesta, she's definitely a government operative. I mean, who says they're a proud ginger and then dyes their hair to where they look 10 years older? That's just weird to me.
I'm not saying
I'm a proud ginger. I'm gonna dye my hair black and white. Okay.
Well, it's no worse than Colby and Pig Lords today dyed his hair metallic purple so he could blend in.
No, I mean,
blend in.
Yeah.
How do you blend in with metallic purple hair?
I don't know. Maybe it's
moving?
EDM
is
stuff.
he moving to California or San Francisco? And we just
maybe that's how it is in the EDM scene. I'm not sure.
The EDM scene. The EDM scene. Oh my God, I can't with you today. Oh, what happened to the? Oh, there it is. It's Friday night. It's been fun. Why is this playing? This is not supposed to be playing. What happened here?
I don't know. Jay says he wants to join the show, but
well, tell him to join it.
He says he's downloading the new Zoom.
Oh, jeez. Where is he at? Is he in your DM?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Just, I don't care. At this point, I think you're just a government operative.
And then Majesta says, well, maybe I am. Well, it explains a lot. I mean, no one lives in Utah.
Hunter says he figured out how to listen finally. Welcome to the show, Hunter. We're glad to have you.
And Joe says, I'm dreaming, but I can't say who. I love Joe Logan.
Joe, you have to tell us who is it that you're dreaming of, sir?
It's our secret, Joe. Oh, there he is.
Jason.
Oh, yes.
Don't hear any audio yet, Jason.
Crozati. Is that paying homage to our CrayolaSec owner Scott Sonnier?
He still says stuff about like boiling pollywogs, which I've never heard of that before, and I've lived here my entire life, so I'm still confused about that one.
Yeah.
There he is.
There he is.
What's up, fellas?
What's happening?
Nothing much. Just a fun Friday night.
All kinds of shit.
Your reception is horrible right now. Are you there?
I know.
Oh,
I'm in the middle of the woods.
Well, nobody told you to move to the middle of nowhere. Yeah, I mean, we can see a still shot of your face right now looking sideways out of you. Okay, there you are.
All right.
It's getting better.
Wait, is that better right there?
Yes.
Back up.
Yes. No. That's better. It's perfect. I mean, your picture's not moving, but at least we can hear you now.
And Hunter apparently wants to join.
Let's see. You wanted... we lost Jay. Shit. Hang on a second. Hunter... Okay, hang on. Let me record a voice note for him.
There we go.
Oh, there he is. He's back. Okay, cool. Hunter, Dale, if you really want to join, I'm gonna shoot you a DM real quick, and I'll send you the Zoom link. You can join in with us.
I'm gonna drive out in the middle of this field. I might have a reception there. Yeah, man, I'm out in the middle of nowhere, so reception is pretty shit. So, what's the conversation about today, gentlemen?
We were talking about basically how shitty this country's actually gotten recently.
Well, it's not going to get any better. It's got to get far worse before it gets any better.
Yeah, at this point, though, especially with the economy, I'm almost kind of hoping for just like an economic collapse, for complete reset of the dollar, because I really think that's the only thing that's going to help it now.
That's what's going to happen.
Well, the dollar's going to collapse, but I don't think it's going to be the reset you guys think it is, especially if BRICS is going to be involved. So,
I feel that there's just going to be complete breakdown of society and the dollar, but all is like a whole pretty much. Yeah. And then if that's the case, then obviously the United States leaves a lot of room for people to come fuck with us. So
yeah, I mean, no, you're absolutely
a pretty dire situation with it.
No, you're absolutely right about that, because especially with BRICS planning to form their own currency. BRICS meaning the allegiance of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. I hate to say it, but you Westerners are fucked. You guys are screwed.
I mean, that the dollar will tank if that happens.
The dollar will tank, and once the U.S. collapses, you'll pretty much have a civil war, but they'll pretty much have the Western world divided up between Russia and China. And India will go along, even though they don't care for the Chinese, but they like Russia, so they'll be fine.
All right, so Dale says he's going to join as soon as he gets out of the shower. How is he texting in the shower?
He's always in the shower drinking a beer and smoking a joint.
And texting.
He's always in the shower drinking beers and smoking joints. I swear to God. I mean, the way I see it is, I've been seeing this shit coming for a long time, and it's not really even, it's not even a matter of like being a truth or a conspiracy theorist or any of that.
No.
I mean, I think all of us have been down the rabbit hole of the YouTube videos and all that shit. And when it comes down to it, facts are facts. I like what's down on paper, and that's documented well. And it's just documented well that the U.S. dollar is going to collapse, and there's going to be a collapse of society with us as well. I mean, look at our men, and even in the family unit has all been, destroyed at this point. So that's not going to be good when our society and dollar collapses. And then, say we get invaded or some shit, and all the men don't know how to throw a grenade or don't know how to shoot a gun. All they know how to do is.
No, he's absolutely right about. Where did you go? Oh man, you were on point.
But no, he's absolutely right about that, because what people don't realize is like when other countries collapse. No, but
post the stream link in the chat, please.
All right, we'll do. But what people don't realize that when other countries collapse, most of the people that live in those countries know how to deal with like life after a collapse, life after the infrastructure collapse.
Right.
Most people have backup plans.
Is that
But in America,
Right.
like as Crawdaddy said himself, he's absolutely right. People are gonna panic like there's no tomorrow.
Okay, I'm looking at this video you just posted in chat, Jay. Is that an old school LTD 2-door coupe?
That's a Pontiac Le Mans.
Wait, say that again. Your phone broke up.
Okay, I'll pull up on it. Hold on.
Okay.
I'll pull up on it for you. See if I can turn the camera around here. I don't really know how to work this shit, so bear with me. Okay, here we go. All right, I'll pull up on it. I'm right next to it right now. No, it's a Le Mans. It was my dad's back in the day.
Ah, okay. Okay. That would make a fun car. That would make a badass car. Look at that old Pontiac. Yeah, and we lost him.
No, Joe says, how Shay's been recently.
Why would you do that there?
I have the ability to dominoes, but America will become Vietnam. Watch. No, America will be worse than Vietnam.
Yeah, sorry, the reception's horrible out here. See, Le Mans.
That would he ever be interested in selling that, or is that just like a permanent fixture in the property?
Yeah, well, it's kind of a lawn ornament, Scott. Kind of, you know, as you can see, that there is a barn from 1800. That's a Pony Express Trail stop right there.
A virtual tour of his property here.
Yeah,
that's
then we got 1968 Firebird over here somewhere.
So, Jay, in regards to the car, you're not going to try to like soup it up and make it into a project or something?
No, I had planned on that. Yes, I had planned on that.
Actually,
yes, I still do. Like I dragged it over to there from. It was way back here at this tree line. I dragged it all the way up over here with my truck, my old Chevy that I had. I dragged it all the way over here, and then it's just been sitting for a while. So I still need to drag it up to the shop and get going on it. But you know, I got a lot of things to do. So at some point, I'll get it. But it's nice. Needs a lot of work. The body's straight and everything.
I mean, with the body being straight, I would fix like just the whatever is needed on the outside, but I would leave that patina like it is and just hop it up and make it into a sleeper.
That's it. Exactly. Yeah, that's kind of what I was going to do. I was just going to, because I can paint cars pretty well, you know. So I was just going to fucking slap some good paint on it and rip it out and call it a day, really.
That's
not what I was going to do.
That's dope. Let me read some of the comments.
I'm trying.
Vietnam.
I'm trying to kind of drive and.
Oh, my bad.
Get a location that's got some good reception.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got to get to the.
Vietnam hasn't gotten any better. They still commit genocide, except people are leaving America to live in Vietnam. So yes, it has gotten significantly better. There are people that actually leave the U.S. to go live in places like Vietnam and the rest of Southeast Asia because it's cheaper and it's better for healthcare for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, we're having a mass exodus right now. You know.
Yeah.
People moving to Sweden and I mean, I'm real hard up on don't leave because shit got rough. You know. Stay and make the change that you want. I'm real hard up on that. That's why I'm still in California. I've never left. A lot of my friends have gone to Texas and all that, and I've kind of always had the attitude of, hey, screw that, you know? I'm not letting no politics or policies chase me out of freaking anywhere. But, I mean, the way it's going, you might not have a choice at some point. What do, you know?
Yeah, because, I mean, like you brought up earlier, it's like when things collapse in this country, and I was piggybacking off of that point, you know, when it collapses here, people are not going to know how to react. Like other countries, when it collapses, people know how to like, okay, we dealt with this before, whatever.
Well, and that's one of the great things about being where I am and being from where I am, because, I mean, we're going to be fine down here.
Right. Look at Eastern Europe.
Yeah. Right.
Like, look how many times they've collapsed and they're like, fine.
Right, and a lot of people are doing this all wrong, getting prepared for this. You know, they're fucking sitting here trying to stack up as much bread as they can in their bank accounts, expecting, if some collapse happens, at least I'll have money. Money ain't gonna fucking matter. That ain't gonna be what's important. What's gonna be important is, do you know how to hunt? Do you know how to fish? Do you know how to build shelter? Do you know how to make snare traps? Do you know how to fucking find resources naturally? That's what's gonna be important, and that is a lot. And that is a lot of what has been made illegal or so restricted that people don't even bother learning how to do it because you have to get all these permits just to do like the basic necessity shit,
Right.
So
and to add a few what's going to happen?
Sure, go ahead. Well, what's going to happen is it's all going to collapse, and people in these cities, these big cities, are going to freak out.
Oh, yeah.
They're not going to know what the fuck to do, and everybody's going to come running for the hills is what's going to happen. And, well, they ain't really going to be making it.
No.
It's just, if you've ever seen the movie The Road, I think that is like a really good representation of what could realistically be what we'd be looking at if everything came to a collapse. And then, let's say, some kind of real big disaster came, like a nuclear fallout, any of that nature. That is a really good representation of the reality of the situation as that would be.
Well, that is true. And with the collapse, you're also going to have smart cities as well. And smart doesn't mean what you think it means. It means like the AI stuff.
Right.
It's the acronym.
Dale says that's why he loves South Carolina, because they can basically do whatever they want as long as nobody gets hurt. That's pretty much how it is here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and that's how it is up in the county I'm in, right? A lot of people don't know. They think California, and they just think like palm trees and communism and all this. 100%, yeah, L.A., San Francisco, sure. But the rest of the state is all red, It's all good old boys kind of deal. So, like up here where I'm at, this county, they don't give a shit. You can drive around, shoot guns off in the air, do whatever the hell you want, as long as nobody gets hurt.
Okay.
So, there's still some places like that left out here, but far few in between.
That's the great thing about being here, because the entire state is that way. Drew Brady says, everyone doing well? Yes, Drew, we're doing great. How are you tonight?
Great.
Right. Yeah, Louisiana's great. They got good policies down there. Arizona too, but they're kind of starting to get a little twisted down there with California type style policies and politics. Same with Texas.
Dale says our big cities are why we will soon turn blue if nobody starts rooftop voting. I mean, he's right.
Yeah.
Joe Logan
That's how California is.
Joe Logan says because they have money and the dollar is better there, but within 5 years, shit is going to hit the trash compactor. What will those people in other countries do? I know how to skin animals, tan hides, etc. Watch Humanity Bureau starring Nicolas Cage.
Exactly. That's a good one too. Yeah, like Dale said, the cities, the big population centers are everything. Like in California, we are technically a red state, but because of Los Angeles, San Francisco, those big cities, we're blue because their population, basically all those votes make up the policies and opinions and representation for the entire state.
And that's the sad thing. That is a big reflection of the complacency within this country as far as the voting system is concerned. Because really and truthfully, yes, those big population centers like those big cities is normally what dictates which way the state leans. However, the overall population of the state is a hell of a lot more than those cities, but those people choose not to vote. So in essence, by not voting, they are just as big of a part of the problem as the people who do vote.
Well,
that's correct. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, I'm not going to get into how like voting's rigged and all that right now, apparently, but I will say, like Jay, Illinois is just like California. It's like you remove the Chicagoland area,
Everything else is pretty much red. And maybe like some of the campus counties, everything else is red.
Right.
Dale says he wouldn't mind being forced to survive.
Well, and California is a big state. You know, a lot of people don't even really understand how big of a state California is. It is a big state. So you've got an entire city, take LA, you know, Los Angeles County and all that. You've got that place down there in San Diego, which is all the way at the bottom of this state. They're making decisions and policies for the way we live way up here, up north, you know? And it's like two entirely different countries. So they're making policies based on what they need down there. And we up here have to follow those policies, but those policies don't reflect our way of life, you know? So that's where it's really unfair, and it's just not okay. But what can you do, you know? Sucks.
Dale says Charleston, South Carolina is a liberal area, and it's because they're severely flooded with transplants looking for a nice southern lifestyle, and they vote to make our beautiful place look like the shithole they came from. Well, I mean, that's exactly a going thing. I mean, every screwed up law that we have to deal with that's on the books today originates on the West Coast and it travels eastward.
Yeah.
It's always that's 100% been that way.
Right. California is kind of the testing ground for all of these bullshit policies. And then you're right. It just starts spreading east, almost like a fucking infection of sorts. You know?
It is. I mean, it's... Joe Logan says the voting doesn't matter. Just the system uses that to their advantage. Nobody in Cali votes except the stupid. And you know that's 100% correct. I mean,
right. And I make fun of these environmentalists and go green nuts all the time because they are probably the most hypocritical people I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
You know, they're coming from these cities. I'm way up here in the woods, and I'm close to Tahoe, California, which is a major tourist destination, right? So these fucking idiots will come from San Francisco, drive all the way up here, okay? They'll come into Tahoe, party, throw their trash out all over the place, make a complete mess, and then get a bumper sticker that says, keep Tahoe blue, and then go home like they give a shit, you know? They don't. They're hypocrites. 100%.
Well, I mean, exactly. To piggyback off that point, you know, a lot of these people that are, go green, save nature. One, don't even know how fucking nature works. And two, don't even understand what's good for the environment. It's not. Newsflash, a lot of the green energy initiatives like solar that they claim are going to help are made from some of the least environmental friendly sources of energy. Cobalt, mining 70,000 years of cobalt is not good for the environment.
Yes. And just to dispose of one smart car battery is beyond you know what we used to have to deal with as far as disposing of, you know, a gas car or whatever. So
disposing of lithium is not healthy.
Well, right, now, like in California, right?
Now listen to this. Dale, who's an HVAC guy, says ice machines suck because of California. Also, your environmentally friendly AC units with the 410A or Puron will be obsolete by the end of the decade because it's now not safe enough.
Right. That's right. Well, Governor Gavin Newsom just banned propane here. You know? I'm dead serious. And half the people up in these mountains run all of their shit off of propane.
Right.
You know? So how are these people going to cook? How are these people going to cook? How are these people going to have heat for the wintertime when there's 12 feet of freaking snow, you know, and you got some old man sitting up here in his house and he can't run a heater? They're going to die. You know, they're going to die.
And the sad part is it's all planned.
That's it. They want people out of these hills. That's 100% fact. And if you notice, all the fires that we've been having up here in California, right? Well, we used to have what was called forest management, right? They would go through and clean out all of this underbrush through the forest, right? And that would make it to where it was a lot less likely for a little spark to just start a huge 1,000,000-acre fire. Well, they tossed that whole service out, right? So we haven't had any forest management for over a decade almost now.
Yeah,
so that's why we're seeing all these massive fires, because there's so much there's so much fuel on the ground. I mean, when you let the forest grow like it does, and you don't do any logging, they ban logging.
And,
so now we got no logging, no forest management. Dude, it's a matchbox.
And the funny part about that is it's a double-edged sword, because naturally those forests would burn down. But now, because you don't want to clear the underbrush, it also burns down. And now you're sitting there trying to think, well, I don't understand why all this stuff keeps burning to the ground.
Right. Yeah. And I kind of want to ask Jay about this, because from what I've noticed from some of these forest fires in California, some of them do not seem all that natural.
They are not.
I've noticed.
Just about none of them are. And it's not even on the news, a lot of it. Okay? Like back when the Caldor fire was going, that thing came 1.2 miles from my house where I'm at right now. I walked outside, and it was so smoky, it looked like freaking Armageddon. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy. And like the Dixie fire, that was literally started by a liberal college professor from the Bay Area. They caught him. They caught him red-handed. He's in jail. You know, if you go and look on the California wild forest, you know, the fucking fire department that runs all of this in California for the forest, they have records of every single forest fire and investigate into how they were all caused. If you go and look, almost all of them are arson, you know, straight up. And you never hear about it on the news, though.
That's what I was about to say. That's the funniest part of it, because they don't say anything on the news about it. You know, every time there's a wildfire that's widespread, it's always, you know, started by some type of lightning strike or something
global
like
warming.
that.
Oh, we didn't even get that. All we heard on the news out here was global warming. That's why. Climate change. That's it. It's like bullshit.
Climate change does not cause forest fires.
No.
Right. It doesn't, you know? It does not. You know what does? What does cause them is loony leftists coming up here and starting fires, so they have a reason to push their narrative of climate change. And that's what's really
I mean, but to be honest with you, climate change is a real thing. The problem is nobody's taking the steps to stop it. I mean, y'all have tons of mountains in California. That would be one of the greatest states to actually start. Start building these carbon collection, CO2 collection units on the mountainsides where nobody's going to fuck with them, and start cleaning the air up. It's not hard to do.
It's all about it's all about control. You know, is climate change real? Yes, of course. It's been happening for millions of years, for sure.
No, it's true.
But this way, they can push it to where they could say, well, because of climate change and how serious it is, you know, look at your guys' weathers. You know, in winter, California getting bomb cyclones and all this, and the summer fires. We need to limit people on how much they can drive. We need to limit people. You know, they're going to start getting into that. We need to limit businesses.
That's why they're not interested in fixing it. They're just interested in controlling people.
Right.
And, you know, that's what I'm saying. You know, the reason climate change, a lot of people like to disagree with it, is because nobody does actually do anything about it.
Right. I mean, no one does anything about it until it's not an honest conversation. If we're going to talk about climate change and global warming and all that, there's some things people need to understand. None of this is happening naturally, but it's not happening the way they think. Like, I'm gonna mention 8 letters, and you're either gonna catch on or you're not gonna. The sources of things like climate change and this altered weather, one is DEW, and then one is DEW. One set of letters is called DEW, and another set of letters is called HAARP. That's DEW and HAARP. Because I've looked at some of the forest fires in California. None of them are natural, because I'm looking at things like, how is it that the trees are still up and the houses are getting burnt down?
That's it. Dude, look at our winter last year. Our storms that came in here. California got hit with all of a sudden these new storms called bomb cyclones. Nobody's even heard of that.
None.
And that's what I'm saying.
Bomb cyclones. You know what I mean?
You have everything putting out CO2, which would be easily recovered and which would cool down a lot of things, because CO2 traps heat. And we have all of these vehicles on the road. We have all of this equipment that's running, all of these plants that's going. That heat has to go somewhere. And if you don't remove the CO2 from the atmosphere, you heat up the planet. It's not that hard to figure out.
Well, yeah, people should plant more trees. Agreed, but
not only trees. I mean, these CO2 collection plants cost literally hardly anything to build, and they would
or why not just
everything.
trees? Trees collect CO2 as well.
Right, but I mean, we have so much in the atmosphere at this point, we would actually need to build recovering facilities to straighten it out.
The way I see it is, realistically, mankind, right? We've only actually been making any type of real carbon footprint since the fucking Industrial Revolution. So from that point to now is not a big span of time.
No, it's not.
It's not.
If you're gonna sit here and tell me that from the point of the Industrial Revolution to now has done that much damage to the planet, I'm not fucking buying it.
No,
it is. But you see, but that's the thing.
It is
possible.
It's only 160 years.
It's still possible.
The places we're talking about have been around for at least 10,000 years.
Yes, but you got to look at it this way. You went from everybody being on horse and buggy and not having a vehicle or whatever, and not having air conditioning, not having any heating and stuff like that in their home. Now everybody has all of these things within the span of 160 years. All of these things generate heat. All of these vehicles generate CO2 emissions. The reason they don't 100%. Do anything to correct it is control. If you correct it, then you can't control the nation, because if you become carbon neutral, people can do whatever the hell they want as far as vehicles or whatever. So why would you let go of that government control over people?
Right. Well, and it's a perfect storm, really. It's a perfect storm because realistically, every however many hundreds, thousands of years or million of years, we have a pole shift,
Right. Exactly.
Or the fucking Earth's core may stop or whatever, what have you.
Exactly.
The Earth is going to do what it does. Mother Nature is going to do what it does, and it just happens to be during a time to where Mother Nature is making some very serious changes, and mankind has made enough of an imprint or whatever, where these people know what's going on. They're not dumb, and they're able to use that to their advantage to make certain policies to create control over mankind.
You have nuclear energy, which is one of the safest types of energy there is out on the market right now as far as electrical is concerned. But what about thermonuclear energy? They can drill down enough to get enough heat out of the core or out of the crust or just the mantle underneath the crust for millions of years to run whatever type of facility that requires heat or boiling water, like power plants. Free.
But then they drill, they make it to where you can't. So every time that there's a solution that makes sense, like you just said, they put an end to that. They make it some regulation where, oh my God, it's gonna, freaking destroy the horned beetle habitat or God knows what, and make it to where you just can't even touch that topic, So
that's when it comes back to control.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It does.
I'm all for electric vehicles. Don't get me wrong, but the way they're going about doing it is completely wrong.
Right, and FYI, the clean.
You don't damage the environment to try to forward the Clean Energy Act. I mean, that's just stupid.
It is.
Right.
And you want to know the sad part about it? Speaking of control, sorry to cut you off, Scott, is that we actually did have clean energy. We actually did have the technology for clean energy, cars that ran on clean energy and electricity, cars that didn't run on gas, everything to save the environment. And you know what? Speaking of control, the powers that be destroyed all that fucking technology. So any sort of clean energy, any sort of clean initiative isn't gonna be a true clean thing anymore. It's gonna be another thing that destroys the environment. That's it.
Trinket Trick says planting thousands of rainforests. Rainforests can lower temperatures by 3 degrees Celsius, produce tons of oxygen, and is the answer. But there's no money to be made from it, so no one does it.
Nice.
True. That is true. I mean, and you know what? I feel like a lot of people like me, I'm not anti-climate change. I don't deny it. I know it exists. Yes, because it does. The science is there, right? So, but at the same, if they would just make policy that actually made sense based on the science and based on what is fact, I think a lot more people would be able to get behind it.
Exactly.
Exactly. That's the major issue.
But they're just that's the issue.
Right,
Hey, I got to jump off and do some things. But I'd love to jump back on at another time. If you guys are still going, I'll check back in. I got to do some chores.
We've been going for 2 hours now, and I'm tired, so I don't know how much longer.
It was great having you on, Jay. Well,
Yes, Jay, we really enjoyed your company. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, we're at the 2 hours.
No worries. I got to get make fun of it.
Trinket Trinks says, why not solar on every rooftop? And I think we lost Jay because I don't hear him anymore, but I still see him.
No, he had to leave. But
okay,
we could have it if it's done properly. The problem is a lot of these solar energy things aren't even like good for the environment.
The reason we don't have solar rooftop panels on every house is very easy because they only make money when they install the panels. It's not a long-term money maker for these companies. That's why you don't have it on every rooftop. It is better for a company to make money off of people by extorting them every month with an electricity bill.
Yeah. No.
They don't care about clean energy. They only care about the dollar in their pocket. That's why there's not solar panels on every rooftop.
Right, that's so true. And plus, some of it's not even like compatible for that either. But I had a question to ask you before, I read some of the comments. Let me read the comments first. Actually, Joe says in Cali they pay people to take opinions from people registered to vote. Think it's them figuring what people will tolerate. And he also says they are planning fast train and resorts from Vegas to LA to Frisco. I saw the post and we'll see if they still have it saved and post on my page. And he says, you're right, Harsh, but yet the beginning of our spring was more like Washington State's weather. Yeah, it was really messed up. But, I got a question to ask you when we do it. And before, let me read this one. He says, if the corporation wants property, what's the easiest way to get it? Buy it or burn people out? The answer is obvious. Well, it could be both. And Trinket says, yes, about filthy money. Now, I got a question to ask you. When this whole thing collapses, where are you gonna where are you gonna be in the world?
I'm gonna be right here.
Okay, so you're not gonna go to the motherland or the fatherland?
No, I live here and I'm from here.
Oh, you're not gonna go to France or something?
No. No, I mean the state of Europe right now, in France as well as the UK, I wouldn't go there for anything.
No, Europe's even a bigger mess than the US right now.
It is. I mean, but really and truthfully, the first thing to collapse would probably be communications, because that's normally how it works. I mean, they're going to collapse communications intentionally if everything starts to collapse, because they're not going to want to have people who be able to get in touch with them or have to be able to answer for anything. So it's going to be a blackout.
Yeah.
It's going to be a blackout, and I'm going to sit here on my front porch and watch everybody go retarded.
Yeah.
That's basically all we can do.
I don't know if I want to be in this country when it all collapses. I'm still 50-50 on it.
Trinket Trinks says she's going in the bush if it collapses.
And a corporate and a joke.
If the funny thing about it is if the dollar collapses before a new monetary system is in place, that's going to be a world economy crash. That's not just going to be the United States, because everything is according to the dollar.
Right now it is, yes. Right now. All right, and Trinket says everyone should buy CB radio so we can communicate. I think Joe actually came up with that thought, the old ham radios. And speaking of Joe, he says corporation isn't interested in climate, only money. Electric cars run on electricity, made by generators, run on gas and oil. Not much oil, but lots of gas. Agreed.
And that is
That's why the whole thing is so foolish.
That's exactly right. nuclear energy is a clean energy in a sense. I mean, you can't just throw uranium out in somebody's backyard, but the thing that scared most Americans off of nuclear energy was just the simple fact of disasters like 3 Mile Island, Chernobyl, and more recently the Fukushima power plant in Japan. So I mean that really is a black eye to the nuclear generating type facilities. But the thing is you cannot get people off of these natural resources unless they're willing to accept change. These corporations are not going to accept that change. That's the problem. The people want the change, but the corporations don't, because they don't make money out of it.
No, they don't. Joe says, I'm going to some mountain somewhere. No phone, no boat, no nada. If America collapses, the whole world collapses.
Right, but that's if that new currency that Russia and Central America and everybody else wants to get involved in. If that's the case, if that does happen, the dollar will collapse.
Right.
Because then it's not going to be worth anything anymore.
Right. I mean, if America collapses, the whole world collapses to a point. But here's the thing. When other parts of the world have collapsed, like when their civilizations have collapsed before, a lot of countries are fine. I mean, look at Eastern Europe. Look at how many times their governments collapsed. Look at how many times they're like, look how many times they've had to rebuild, and they're just like, it's okay. What you do, we do what we do. You know. Like,
America's not going to rebound
like South Asia and all
that.
these other things.
America is not going to rebound like that.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like America won't rebound. The rest of the world can rebound. America won't.
You'll see like sections of America rebound first before the rest of the country does. It's going to be very, very interesting to watch.
Yeah, but there's going to be a lot of people in this country that die of shock, because they're going to be like, "Oh my God, what the are we going to do here?"
Hell, imagine the amount of people that's just going to die of starvation because they don't know how to survive.
Yeah.
Are the ones that can't live without electricity or internet. Yeah. If Facebook went offline tomorrow, the world would collapse.
That's so true.
Trinket, the thing about nuclear power plants is not really, can be used as a weapon. It could be a localized disaster 9 times out of 10. Mm-hmm. But the problem is not the power that it generates. The problem is the corporations that control the power that it generates.
And hence controlled opposition controlling both sides of an argument, sadly.
They're going to charge the same amount for nuclear energy that they charge for natural gas energy, for cold energy. Mm. You know, I mean, that's what they do.
That's true. No, that's so true in so many ways. But, that's the thing. It's like, one of my friends, we were talking offline, and he was like, look, man, when this collapses, I'm going to be in like Southeast Asia, the old Indochina. I'm talking about, what, if this collapses, I may just go to the motherland and be like, hey, it's like the old times. It's awesome. But I don't know if that's actually going to happen. And like I said, it's like people here, they're not going to understand what it's going to like to collapse. Because like I said, with other countries, they know how to do it. Like,
if I was to leave Louisiana, the furthest I would absolutely go, the absolute furthest I would go would probably be Nova Scotia.
Right.
Because I have family up there. So
that's true. But
as far as going to like France, I mean, is the disaster that is the European Union right now? Yeah, they can sit over there by themselves.
Yeah, they're even worse than they're in a worse state than what the U.S. is. But what Jay was also talking about when it comes to like gathering food, hunting, and all that stuff, what people also need to know is that distilling water and preserving food are also going to be big skills as well.
Absolutely.
Are going to be important skills as well that people need to learn, otherwise they're screwed.
Dale says if we collapse, it's going to be like going back to the motherland being 1845.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. I mean, if everything went to shit tomorrow, I would still have electricity. You know, I would still have electricity. I would still have running water. Why? Because we're set up that way. So to be honest with you, if the utilities went out tomorrow, I wouldn't care. Hoey says that's not going to work to Dale because it's MAGA season.
MAGA season.
Okay, I've got a question for Hoey if he's listening. I don't know if he's listening or not. I know Dale is, but Dale, if Hoey's not listening, I need you to ask this question for me. So what happens with the Republican nomination if Trump actually has to go to jail for the 30 some odd counts of whatever the hell he did? And another question concerning that is, why aren't they bringing up Biden on the same charges for having classified documents at his house?
I don't know. The only thing I know is that Joe says, harsh, India's where I'll be. And I got stored cash and dollars with 70 rupees. But I have stored gold, and that's always. Wait, Joe, you're gonna be in India too? Huh. Cool.
Dale says he can run his entire house on propane and a 2,000-watt generator.
All right. So basically, I'm gonna have to invite. So basically, if Joe is gonna be in my country, maybe he can stay at our old house. I don't know.
That would be perfect. We can
hey, I like spicy food. Let's get some spicy food. I'm like,
we can continue to transmit because I would still have 50,000 watts behind me here, so we could still transmit. We just have to like hit a skip on ham radio, and we can go live when you and Joe meet in India.
Yeah, apparently.
If Trump gets, Dale says, if Trump gets the nomination, Biden will win again. He needs to find someone worth a fuck to snap a VP spot. Dale, I don't know if I agree with you on that because, I mean, Biden has demented his way all the way through office so far. I mean, he's really got enough stupidity now at this point to where he probably wouldn't get reelected.
Yeah. Well, Joe says if anyone believes a politician is going to jail, they're idiots. Well, I mean, politicians have gone to jail before, but they're not presidents. They're like congressional people.
Right.
Like Anthony Weiner and Hastert went to prison.
I mean,
Dennis Hastert and Weiner went to prison, but that's it.
I get why they're so mad at Trump for that, and I get why the indictment. However, the problem with that is we have a sitting president that did the exact same thing. Why aren't they saying anything about that? Why aren't they bringing him up on charges?
That's a good point.
Why hasn't the Republican Party stood up to this man in Congress and started an impeachment proceeding because of it? That is just as treasonous as what Trump did. Why are you letting him sit there?
Well, I mean, the reason they haven't started the impeachment proceedings is because, well, one, the Republicans, quote unquote, want to get it right. And two, more importantly, I don't think Kamala Harris wants to be president right now. She wants to.
Dale, that he says because 75% of the Republican population are vaginas. Dale, the reason for that is simple, because the silent majority is too scared to actually speak up. If the silent majority was to ever speak up, this country would be way different right now.
And for the most part, Joe Logan's right when he says politicians have made themselves immune to prosecution. Again, there are exceptions to the rule, but you are correct. Like 90% of the time, that is the case. Like the only politicians I can think of that have gone to prison in my lifetime are Dennis Hastert and Anthony Weiner. Those are the only two people in Congress that were former U.S. congressmen that went to prison.
Dale also says Biden won by the largest margin ever. If he's breathing, he'll be in office. I really can't see that now at this point. I may be wrong. He could win again. But I mean, it's just this man has literally screwed up so much, and it's been on the forefront of media for so long. You know, I mean, it's going to be hard for, I mean, you already hear Democrats talking about how bad things are. because of Biden. And whenever your own party starts speaking against you, you're in trouble. I really don't see him being reelected. I could be wrong. See him. I could be wrong, but I mean,
I don't think he's going to. What do you call it? I don't think he's gonna be allowed to run in 2024, the way they make it out to be. But yeah. Then again, I thought Camel Toe or Hillary was gonna take over by now either, and just kill him off. But
and I don't know. I don't really think Trump is going to catch the primary either, because I mean, at this point, Trump he looks pretty crazy. I mean, he looks like he's mentally disconnected.
Well, there's, I mean, of course, on those two fronts, that's absolutely correct. But on the other one, the problem Trump really has is that a lot of the people who voted for Trump in 2016 aren't going to ride with him because of how he handled things in 2020 when it came to the shutdown. There's a lot of people that are going to look at him and be like, why do I want to go with, or going to look at him as Grandpa Moderna and be like, why would I want to go with someone like this when I'd rather go with someone like DeSantis, who stood up to Big Pharma? And so he's also got to tackle that front as well.
Yeah. And Joe Logan says the people don't speak because it don't affect them. And that's sad, because every little ripple in a lake has at least a small effect. You're right and you're not right at the same time, Joe. And I'm going to tell you why. The silent majority being silent is the reason that this country's in the state that it's in. It does affect everyone. These people think it doesn't affect them, but it absolutely does. Those people being quiet is the reason why we're paying over $3 a gallon for gasoline right now. Those same people are also the reason why eggs shot up to almost $10 for a dozen.
Okay.
It definitely affects them. And you can't say middle class, because there is no middle class anymore. You're either poor or you're rich. There's really not a middle class anymore.
No. Unless you're Scott, in which case you're both at the same time.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Poor, but had money. I don't know how you would.
Or myself, where I look rich, but I'm not.
Dale said, and he sprouted countless local private egg farms. Yeah, you're right. But, I mean, it's still not going to change anything. It's not going to change anything. It's not. If these people don't wake up soon and don't start speaking out, we're not going to get any better. And that's just that's just the sad fact about it. Yeah, okay, Hoey, the thing is Trump's policies were great, but he's a dumb man. He did too much dumb shit once he got out of office. You know, that's going to be the kicker for him. That is going to be the kicker for Trump. If he can overcome all of his stupidity, then he might have a shot. But who would you rather? Would you rather Trump or DeSantis? That's a question right there. Harsh, do you want to weigh in on that? Which one would you choose, DeSantis or Trump?
That's tough, because we all know how DeSantis gets down when it comes to foreign policy. But when it comes to Trump, it's like, man, you really Trump became Grandpa Moderna. So I don't know. That's going to be rough. I'd probably have to go with DeSantis at this point.
I mean, DeSantis does not have the same amount of controversy surrounding him like Trump does. But then again, do you want someone like that back in office? I mean, you've seen how he reacted when he didn't win the last time. He threw a fit like a child. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong, it was warranted. It was warranted, but it's the way he went about doing it is what the problem is. And if you're going to respond like that because you lost an election, then why would I want you leading the nation?
Well, I mean, for me, it's just the temper tantrum thing is just like whatever, because like I said, he threw a temper tantrum. The person he beat in 2016 threw a temper tantrum for a half decade, to the point where social media and, censorship got impacted even worse.
Hang on. Hold that thought. Trinket, you have a great night. Thank you for joining us tonight. We enjoyed your company. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry, Harsh. Continue, please.
Right. But what was I say? Trump was never. It was the people that were working for him. Of course. No, of course. That's true.
I mean, this man got himself banned from Twitter. I mean, how can you be to the point where you're so crazy that an entire social media site or entire social media platform banned you? Are you that disconnected with reality?
Right, but that being said, I don't know if Trump can overcome DeSantis, because on one, it's like Trump has too many controversies, but on the other hand, how well does DeSantis play outside of Florida? How well is he outside of Florida? Because he might be too localized for his own good. But then, while we know of DeSantis and his flaws on foreign policy, there's also Trump and, well, basically being Grandpa Moderna. So it's like, I don't know. Well, if you're a Republican, you got a lot of things to think about between those two. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, we're at the 2 hour and 20-minute mark now at this point. Well, yeah, he was Hoey, but I mean, that's not going to. Nobody really cares about that. They're more interested in his indictments. That's. I really want to know why they're not going after Biden for the same thing.
Yeah.
I just don't understand it. Well, Mr. Harsh, I am ready to go to bed. It is 10:30.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're at the 2 hour 27 mark. And yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind Hoey coming on the show Monday or Tuesday to talk about.
Why is this thing doing this? I'm about to throw it in the garbage.
All right. And on that note, this has been another edition of the Harsh Reality. This is Harsh. We thank Scott, Mr. CrayolaSec himself, Scott Sonnier, for co-hosting the show. This is Harsh, but I don't love you. The life is harsh, but also live it. And sometimes you have to color outside the lines. And
that's
honk,
right.
Honk, it is ClownSec.
That's right. You've been listening to CSHR Radio. I'm going to stop the other broadcast as well because I am tired. It's late at night. It's Friday. Go out, get drunk, have fun. Don't get a DWI, though. And definitely don't call me to bail you out because you'll be in the mine. Have a great night.